everyone. I'm May, and today I've got someone really special here for a little chat. She hooked her way into our hearts playing in this year's Heroes of Dorm. The one, the only Oddish. How are
Hello,
you?
hello, hello. I'm doing great.
Great.
That,
So,
what an intro.
well, you did hook your way into our hearts. I feel like that is a pretty true statement when it comes to you and how you kind of popped on the scene at Heroes of the Dorm with your incredible Stitches play, and everyone was really excited to see you. So I'm definitely excited to get a chance to talk to you and get to know you a little bit better. So I actually watch your stream. I don't know, you've probably noticed that. I pop in every once in a while. And an easy one first. I'll start off with an easy question. For those people that don't know, what is an Oddish?
An Oddish is one of the first Pokemon, which are the only Pokemon I consider, legitimate.
The
But
OG
it's
Pokemon?
the OG Pokemon. I wish I could pull up a picture. I don't have. But anyway, they're a little ball with little tiny feet. They look like Kirby, and they're purple and blue, and they've got these green leaves, and they're just adorable. And
If
so,
you were a Pokemon, is that the Pokemon you think you would be?
yeah, I mean, Oddish has been such a fundamental part of my life. I've been nicknamed Oddish for, forever.
Really? So it's been something
Yeah.
that's awesome. So you've stuck with it.
Oh, yes. Well, that's kind of the point, is I stuck with it. So the Oddish story is that in elementary school, all the kids would talk about who the best Pokemon were, and it was usually like Charizard, the big dragon, or like Blastoise, the big tank water guy. And, in an act of kind of spite, I was like, Oddish, because Oddish is pretty cute. And that was a big no-no on the playground. You can't choose a cute Pokemon as your favorite. They need to be strong and powerful. So I got made fun of for it.
Aw.
But well, yeah, it was sad then, but I held my ground, and then I never let go of it. Like it just in middle school I got bullied for liking Oddish, and among other things, and in high school the same until like kind of the end of high school, where it was like neat and retro for me to be liking Oddish, and so. Oddish to me is about staying true to yourself and not letting other people bully you out of your convictions and your ideals, and just, be you.
I think that's a really important thing for you too, because you're such a, an upbeat and positive person, and you kind of march by your own drum. I think you're definitely unique, so it's really nice to hear that that's kind of been the trait for you your whole life, is that sort of person.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be anything other than weird because I'm a pretty weird person. So
It's better to be
it's
weird
like,
anyway.
yeah, I'm better just be you.
Yeah, be yourself. Good, very good. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. How old are you? Where are you from?
I'm 23. I've lived in North Carolina my whole life. I grew up in Chapel Hill, and then kind of moved to Chapel Hill until I went to college at East Carolina University. I got a 4-year dual degree in chemistry and biochemistry.
So you're a smarty.
A little bit, quite the nerd. And then I continued on to get my master's in chemistry. I haven't finished, sorry. I'm 1 year into my master's, but I'm actually quitting that now to go full-time streaming.
Are you? Wow.
Oh, no.
So was that like a hard decision, or did you just kind of feel like it was the natural progression of things?
It was kind of the hardest part about it is like I got all these opportunities online just a month ago or less than a month ago, but I feel like I really have to run with it because streaming is something I've always wanted to do, and now this opportunity for me to captain Sweet Synergy and for me to have a viewer fan base, I gotta run with it because I want a platform to share my message.
So do you feel like everything's just kind of clicking into place for you right now as far as esports is concerned?
Yes, things are going smoothly.
That's great. So, kind of going back to Heroes of the Dorm and college, did your parents and family and, real life friends know that you were doing Heroes of the Dorm and kind of what that would mean for you?
Okay, so 3 years ago, there was a national college Call of Duty Black Ops 2 tournament for the PC. And I told my parents that I was going to win it. And they kind of laughed at me, and they were like, all right, well, whatever. And then it was real to them when I was getting an all expenses paid flight for my team and I to California
Oh,
for the live
wow.
finals. And I won it all. And I'm still using the prize computer I got for that tournament.
Wow.
So my parents are no longer surprised. I mean, they kind of just roll with it because they saw that video games, like, they're real now, you know?
Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, I actually didn't know that this is so Here's the Dorm wasn't your first kind of foray into esports. It's something that you've been doing for a while now?
Correct,
Oh,
correct.
wow.
I've been very competitive online since forever. I had an older brother, 3 years older than me, and so we started competing in a first-person shooter called Marathon before you could even play online. So I feel like and I started at a really absurdly young age. So I've just got video games in my blood.
So when did you start playing video games then?
Gosh, I think I was like 5 or 6 years old.
And was it something that you did with your brother? Like, was it your bonding time together? And
I mean, we were very vicious to each other,
oh,
you
really?
know. And my dad played too, and so we kind of got a head start in that sense. And I've noticed, kind of a tangent, but I've noticed younger brothers or younger siblings are usually better at video games.
Because you start younger, you get it into your fingers.
Yeah, because the parents are like, "Oh, I don't want my first child to play this game," but as soon as they give it up to the first child, the second child's not long behind that.
Right. Neat. So, what are some of your favorite games then? Like, what was the first game that you really ever got hooked onto gaming in? And, what are your favorites to play right now?
Well, the first one, like I said before, was Marathon, which is the precursor to Halo that not very many people know about. It was a PC game by Bungie. I think this is the one they got famous with. Loved it. It was like one of those old school shooters, like Quake. I don't know. Anyway, from there I played Warcraft 3. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yeah,
that, but that was my first introduction to like the internet and how scary of a place it is.
definitely a little bit of a scary place.
Yeah, but I would play custom games all the time. And then I played WoW for um, my first puberty, like for years. It was awesome.
What did you
Raiding Molten
do?
Core.
Is that what you did? Did you mostly do PvE or did you do PvP also?
Mostly PvE. I couldn't. My guild wasn't great, and I had an enforced bedtime, but I still got to raid. And my brother and my father were also in the same guild, so it's kind of like, we got to bond as a family by raiding Molten Core and Blackrock Spire.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty wild, right?
That's a really, I don't think most people get to, play with their families. So that's really cool that you have that sort of support and kind of they really understand the world that you're entering
Uh-huh.
and in, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, my poor mom was pretty alienated during that time,
Did you
'cause
feel like she was left out? She was the
she
odd duck.
She was, because she didn't. Technology scares her, and she's better now with technology. But then it was like she couldn't touch a computer, so
Wow.
she didn't. I don't think she even understood what was going on. We were just like 40 people killing giants. Like what?
What's happening? Did you all have your computers in the same room? Was it like a
Yep.
really family?
Yep.
That wow,
Uh-huh.
that's amazing.
It's
I
pretty
wish
cool,
that was
right?
like family bonding time in my house was video games. That'd be awesome. Okay, so after World of Warcraft, what else did you play?
After World of Warcraft, it was all sorts of things. I just whatever I get my hands on. I liked the Call of Duty series. Um, Mostly because it's like shooters are kind of an ego trip for me because I'm really good at them. So
Oh,
you just like you click heads and things happen.
people
Um,
die, you win, success,
you win,
celebration.
and then it's like, wow, what happened? Which peaked at Modern Warfare 2, I think. Anyway, there was one of the Call of Duty series where if you got 25 kills in a row, you got to end the game. And one of your score streak was like a nuclear weapon, and you're like, okay, it's over. And it's just the most satisfying thing. So I played a lot of that game. Then I did Dota 2. I have so many hours in Dota 2. And I have so many games with Pudge, who is the Stitches analog in Dota 2.
So were you really excited when Stitches was around because it was kind of a natural alignment towards that hero for you?
Kind of. I didn't actually play immediately. I was disappointed with Stitches immediately because Pudge, all the characters in Dota are so much stronger. Like you have so much more power in Dota, and the hooks in Dota go so far. Like they cross the screen from the get-go, and so Pudge just felt kind of like weak and lackluster.
Right.
I did start when I first started playing. I played Brightwing, and Brightwing was my favorite from the beginning. I thought Brightwing was a fantastic character. And I also started playing 2 years ago for Heroes of the Dorm. I picked up the game to play for dorms, and then some of my friends watching me played, and so I was kind of stuck playing HotS. But now I'm super glad that I am. I've got a lot of practice in it.
Right. So for Heroes of the Dorm, what was kind of the experience for that? Were you kind of the one who was instigating starting a team for your school, or was it someone else and you saw it and were like, hey, this is something that I want to do?
No, as soon as I saw the announcement, I put myself out there. I made myself captain, and I held tryouts, and I posted on every social media I could to try to get people. And it was my game. It was my tournament from the start, and I corralled 12 people. I'm proud. I got one from Yik Yak.
That's pretty impressive.
Right?
You did. You
I
hit
did.
all the social media, didn't you?
Right? No, I was desperate. I was like, all right, we gotta win this. Whoever wants to try out can try out. So I got 12 tryouts of people who have already played the game, which was great, and just did progressively made cuts and formed a team, put it together.
That's great. So it was a really, of all of the esports kind of that you've done in your life, what's your proudest moment?
Well, the Call of Duty tournament has to top it because that's a win. But honestly, my Heroes of the Dorm experience recently, I'm really proud of our top 8. I wish we could have had more practice against ASU because I think my team, you could see that we were growing and adapting, but it's too late to be able to adapt to a team when you're already in the match.
I guess that's true. So would you say, so you've done a lot of esports, and you said you're really competitive with your brother, are you just competitive by nature? Is that something that you would say is definitely a trait about you?
Yeah, I think everything's about perspective, and I love losing because
Do you?
you can't actually grow unless you lose. If you landslide victory, you have gained nothing with your time. I mean, you've probably had fun, but in a competitive mindset in a competitive game, so there's a positive to both sides, and I think people need to enjoy the game, and if you really want to get better, embrace your losses and figure out why you lost.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. So you recently joined Sweet Synergy, which is really exciting. How has that been for you?
Oh, I can't believe it. These girls are amazing on Sweet Synergy. Like, I love my team. We've got a really good team coming together. We have to, we'll see what happens during practice because that's when we still haven't like fully meshed yet, I feel. So, but man, they're impressive. I've got Natara on support, who is she is loud and fierce, which is this amazing juxtaposition because she heals. She's this healer, but she will make sure that target dies. And we've got Honeychild and Laura, which are a little bit quieter. Honeychild has excellent shot calling ability. I feel I'm going to call on her to keep me from diving too far, keep us centered. What's the proper strategy in the situation? Tal is a super flexible, superstar player. She's amazing. And Laura, it's some of the best plays I've ever seen from her.
Wow.
She actually impresses me continuously, and she's just kind of quiet and she kicks ass. I'm all about this team. We are going places.
That's great to hear, because I think a lot of us are rooting for Sweet Synergy because we love the idea of an all-woman esports team, and in the HotS team there needs to be more women in the HotS competitive scene. There's only a few of you, and it's nice to see a group band together and work hard and have that sort of synergy to compete well. So that's really exciting. So, but you're the shot caller of the team, right?
Correct. Yes, I'm shot caller and captain.
And so, what roles do you see yourself playing the most right now? Has it switched since you joined the team, or is it pretty consistently the same?
No, I pretty much. So I like to play all sorts of things. My hero pool is very spread out, and recently in practice, I've had the ability to play just about anything, and kind of build a team around those characters.
Yeah.
But as a flex, there's definitely room for a flex on a team because sometimes you want double support and sometimes you want multiple bruisers. But primarily, I'm an assassin player.
I mean, yeah, because when I watch your stream, you play everything. I love watching you play Brightwing, especially the Q build Brightwing, because I'm a fan of that highly aggressive. I love Brightwing. It's my favorite hero also, because I love that she's a crazy little psychopath, and
Right?
and you
She's
can
wonderful.
really, you wouldn't think that a support can, make plays and really set up kills, but that's the kind of advantage of Brightwing is she can do that. So that's pretty fun. What is your favorite hero, though? If you had to pick one hero that was your absolute favorite.
Brightwing.
Yeah.
Brightwing.
It's hard.
I mean, okay, Stitches is fun. Stitches is a blast. They all have their own little perks. Tyrande is underrated because she's really strong.
Right.
And I'm a huge fan of Tracer recently. I wish I could play more
Really?
Tracer. I feel like I'm really good at Tracer, but she can still get better. Like you can still I'm excited.
You need some time to work and really get her into your bones.
Yeah, exactly. But she's banned all the time. Like, come on.
She is. Everyone's
Give a
really
girl a
afraid of
break.
Tracer. Definitely.
I don't think she's something to be afraid of. People are afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah, and I
This
think
is life.
new hero, no one's really sure how to, counter it yet. There's definitely that fear when that happens. So what do you think about the meta right now? I mean, you play in a lot of, when you guys practice, I'm sure you have scrims and play team league. So what things do you see in the meta that you're really a fan of?
Honestly, I'm a little bit lost right now in the meta.
Really?
Things are changing really quickly. Sylvanas, I expect to be first ban material soon. Because she completely warps the game. So as soon as you have a Sylvanas on your team, you can push under keeps without caring, and that is just game dynamic warping. Played in a scrim the other day. I forget who the other team was, but we were on Dragonshire, which is already a map I'm kind of poor at, and they drafted a Sylvanas push comp and just went full middle at the first shrines, and they let us take both shrines, but we couldn't actually engage on the middle because they were all there. And with Sylvanas, they were just destroying our keeps, and I didn't know how to handle it. Like, that's just such a weird. I don't know. It was fantastic to see that, and so I expect Sylvanas to be coming out more often to do that kind of wackiness.
Yeah, because she's kind of fallen out of favor recently. We hadn't seen her getting picked as often, so that's interesting to know. We'll have to keep a lookout for the crazy Sylvanas pushes now. Do you think it's because they changed with mind control? Do you think that's what it is, or do you still see Wailing Arrow being taken?
So at the pro level, I think mind control is pretty weak because of cleanse.
Right.
So too many things are going to interrupt it. You don't have that much ability to stop the mind control. Sorry. Yeah, you've got too much ability to stop the
Right.
mind control. And Wailing Arrow is still good. So, yeah.
That makes sense. So how often do you practice for Sweet Synergy, and what's the time commitment? Are you guys on kind of a really hardcore schedule right now, getting yourselves kind of prepared for tournaments?
We play as often as we can, which oftentimes isn't a ton. We're working on switching the schedule around. But we're playing about 5 nights a week for 4 hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
That's not a small amount of time. That's a big commitment.
Yeah, and me myself, since I'm on stream all the time, I'm playing HotS 10 hours a day.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It is your
Yesterday, I
life.
took it a little bit too far. I think I
Oh.
played 14 hours of HotS yesterday.
I mean, I saw you were online most of streaming all the day. I saw, so that's good though.
Yeah.
So describe a typical day in the life then. Since you're streaming a lot more now, what does that mean for you? What is, you wake up and then do you do what?
That's a good question, but I don't have a typical day. Like, I don't. Right now, I'm juggling finishing my chemistry semester. I'm juggling, like, making sure my things are together, sending emails, because when you spend so much time on Twitch, it's really hard to get other work done.
Right.
And I feel like when I'm on the computer, I'm kind of obligated to stream. I'm like, I want to play video games, and it's like, well, I should get online. I need to work on getting that partnership and
Right.
work on paying the bills with Twitch, which is a outlandish dream in the future. But you
Life
gotta
goals.
strive.
Life
Yeah,
goals. You can do
gotta.
it.
Thank you. So yeah, I usually, like today, roll out of bed, find out what I'm gonna eat for the day, try to plan out my meals, and then I'm online.
So when do you finish school, just for this term? Because school ends pretty soon, right? You have finals coming up,
Yeah,
right?
I finished all my finals and everything.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I'm done as of 2 days ago.
Ooh.
I don't want to commit to that yet. But I think I've got some like administrative crap you gotta get done. But other than that, I feel pretty free. It was fun for my last day. I wore my Sweet Synergy jersey.
Ooh, right, because
Like
you
my
guys
last-
just got those in. They look fabulous. They look
It was
amazing.
amazing. I was like, hey, no one really noticed. So I'm like, look where I'm going.
So is this going to be the summer of HotS for you then? And are you
Oh, yes.
committed to going pretty hardcore?
I'm committed to being one of the top 100 players in the world for HotS.
So that's
I will
the
get there.
goal for the summer then, is to get on that list.
Yep.
I think you have it. You have it in the bag. We believe in you.
Good.
So are we going to start seeing Sweet Synergy in some tournaments this summer then?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Anyone we can get our hands on will be there.
Great. That's amazing. I can't wait to root for you. So
Make
how
the waves.
yeah, we'll get the clappers. I need to order myself a Sweet Synergy shirt. I want to wear it in solidarity with you guys.
Yes. Wonderful shirt.
So how is it playing on an all-woman team? Coming from a co-ed team, great, because Here's the Dorm team is co-ed. What are the differences between the two? Or is there no differences? Is it really just people coming together playing games?
It feels the same to me.
Really?
It's not that different. I mean, but that's probably because my last team played by my rules, So I think a lot of the tempo and how people talk and that kind of thing is different and it depends on the captain. So in a way, my Here's the Dorm team was a female team, 'cause I was the one leading it.
Right.
And so it's harder to have heart-to-hearts with guys. They don't want to talk about their emotions, and I maybe get a little bit too into it. I'm like, I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know what you're thinking. Like, come on, I want to know how your mind works so I can find your best place on this team. It's more than your skill; it's your personality.
Right.
Because I feel like analytical people should be in one place and have a very concrete role on the team, and the emotionally ferocious should have another role. So anyway, kind of a tangent.
No,
but
that makes yeah, because I think that makes sense. There's nature sometimes suits different roles.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
exactly. I want their nature to shine.
Right.
I want them to really be in a place where they feel comfortable and at home. And Blizzard has done such a good job, and all these MOBAs have a way for everyone really to just perfect themselves. I don't know. Anyway.
Right, like the diversity of the hero pool kind of means that you can really find the hero that speaks to you and play it because it suits. Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. So have you run into any obstacles or challenging situations being either playing for Sweet Synergy with all woman team or being a woman yourself?
Well, being a trans woman is tough.
Right.
On the internet. I got a lot of hate, but especially during dorms, but in a lot of ways that helped me, because the minority were these people that loved me, and they just grabbed onto me and, support me. And so I'm so happy to be where I am, and it's because of the negative attention too. So yeah.
Well, and I think that you're such a genuine, positive human being, just in general, that
Uh-huh.
when people, it's people feel protective of you. I don't know if that's a weird
No,
thing to
that makes
say, but
sense.
I'm like, I don't want anyone to hurt Oddish's feelings. That's how I always feel, and but you handle it so well. Because, I've been in your stream when someone has come in and said something that's, pretty much just a jerk comment and doesn't need to be
Yeah.
said, but you handle it with really such grace. It's really commendable and really wonderful to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is
Can
it hard being that upbeat and positive all the time, or is it just you?
It's just me.
That's so great.
I mean, some things tick me off, but no one's pushed that button with me yet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's not, as a trans woman, it's hard sometimes. Just people are mean.
Yeah, people are assholes. I can't. Uh, oh man, I can go off on all this.
I bet.
But especially since I'm in North Carolina, which is the land of HB2, which is the huge controversial bill of the ages. But in a lot of ways, and I'm early in my transition. I've only been taking hormones for 3 months, so this is the
Wow.
kind of time when trans women usually hide from the world. You kind of have to go to your cocoon and then emerge a butterfly later. Uh, you don't have to, but it's the most dangerous time when you're trying to, before the hormones help you blend in more and go more stealth. Some people aren't ever able to blend in. I don't know where I'll be, but I'm happy with my appearance and how I am. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that I feel like I'm obviously trans, and in that way I can really wear it with armor, and I'm like, look, this is me, and I can inspire people who are also thinking about being early in their transition. And it's not about blending in, it's about being happy with yourself. Um, so, and I'm going to get to look back on my VODs and see my transition timeline.
Yeah,
It's going to be on Twitch. It's like the other day, like 3 weeks ago, my eye color changed like within 24 hours. Like weird hormones do weird things. It's just like I looked in the mirror and I was like, what?
Different.
It was wild.
Yeah, so it's like a living scrapbook of your journey, which is really
Yes.
nice to have.
Yes. Well said.
Do you feel like with kind of your popularity, do you feel like you have a platform now to be yourself and be open and out and how kind of spread that message to other people?
Yeah, no, I've received so many positive comments from people who I've inspired, which is wonderful. Part of what I want to do is just be as vulnerable as possible, so people know what they're getting into, and I can just be natural. If I have to hide parts of myself, I'm going to have a hard time keeping up with those, not really deceptions, but that outer shell. So I want to just show people my squishy human and hope it works out.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be, a role model and someone that a lot of people look up to in the future. But who is the woman in esports that you look up to right now?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Gilly Weed. I love her.
Who doesn't love her? She's
I mean,
amazing.
she's so amazing. And she has to put up with so much sexism every time she's online. I can't. It's impressive. And she
is.
handles it well. And she's a super positive person. She's an all-star. She's wonderful.
She is. So are there any other games that you're excited to play? I know I've definitely watched you play some other games, and you've said that you're really competitive and good at FPS. Is Overwatch something that we may see in your future a little bit?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you will.
It's so much fun. I love Overwatch. Who's your favorite heroes
Tracer.
on there? Oh, yeah.
Oh, 1,000 times Tracer. I basically every time I've gotten my hands on Overwatch, I have ignored the other characters.
Really?
I've like tried them kind of, but Tracer is just seems so high skill, high reward, constant pressure, like stress. You know, you have to be dodging and moving and, you know, shooting people, and you come out behind them and you're, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, I look forward to seeing you compete in that also. It'll be really fun. So I guess the last thing that I kind of wanted to ask you is, so your future, what do you see, what's your this year goal as far as esports are concerned, and do you think that it's really, you said you're going to be quitting school for it, so is it really going to be the future for you? Do you think, are you going to commit 100% and try to make that happen?
Yes, 110%. I'm working on upgrading my computer, figuring out how streaming's gonna fit seamlessly into my life, and I'm going to spend all my days on the computer or being a public figure for esports and women in esports and Sweet Synergy.
Well, I can't wait for it!
Yay!
So why don't you tell everybody, if they don't already know, where they can get a hold of you and follow you?
Yes, please follow me at Steph Oddish on Twitter and tweet at me, talk to me. Like, I love it, and I'm usually able to respond and talk to everyone who sends me messages. That's at Steph, Steph, Oddish, Oddish. And of course, from there, you can find my Twitch, which is Oddish Plays Games.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to have this little interview with me. I'm so excited just to get to know you better.
I loved it. I got to know you better too. It's cool.
I'm not just a weird creeper in your stream anymore.
No one there are weird creepers. They're all sweet and cuddly.
Oh, we're all your Oddites. All right. Well, thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'll be online later today, you know.
All right. I'll be there.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.